Hey guys, what's going on? Arcal here. So today we're going to be exploring some game mechanics. So for a long time people suspected Stone Skin to cut the deflection when it comes to Michael in particular. But this would apply to any hero actually, the way that the game calculates the damage output and the damage mitigation with the deflection and everything put together. So today we're going to be exploring that. So I'll show both Michaels that I have to showcase this. So the first one is here. He's got a 5 stone skin. So the damage reduction is 25% with a 5 stone skin. So he's on 3 skills, so he's going to be deflecting 26% of the damage that he takes. So he's still taking damage, but deflecting 26% of it. And the other one is slightly lower level, but the level doesn't actually matter because what we're going to be testing is the deflection. So he's still at 26% and 3 skill. This one is a Revite one, so let's see here. So this one I think for each of the videos that I took, I put life drain on each of them, but I don't quite recall. I just know that there was no other damage mitigation than the one that you have here. I just needed them to survive for long enough on the boss to be able to proc, and after the proc we can see what kind of damage the boss does to himself. So this was tested on Expert Dungeon 3 and straight away targeting the boss. So those are going to be both Michaels that I'm going to show the tests with. So everything should be exactly the same in terms of the deflection. The only difference being that the 200 Michael is cutting down the damage also by 25% here. So that's pretty much it for the introduction. So I have both video extract. So wait for me just a second and I'll be right back with those video extracts. Alright, so the first one that we're gonna run with is the Stone Skin Michael. So as you can see here, he's gonna proc, so we're gonna slow things down. So he was, so the boss, every time he hits, he's getting deflected for 3,500, now 3,600, now 3,600 again, 3,900 this time. Michael's about to die, but he's still deflecting, almost 3,700 for this one. So next hit, okay, so I think we're pretty much done on the deflect at this point. So as you can see, it seems to be anywhere between 3,600 to maybe a little bit more. So we'll try now with the other one. So we've got the Revitalize Michael, so let's slow it down right away here. Okay, so now he's deflecting 5,200 on this one, and 4,600 on this one, 51, almost 5,200, 4,800, so you see it's a lot higher, 5,500 this time, and now he dies, so we're gonna speed it back up, and yeah, so he deflects a lot more if he doesn't have Stone Skin. Alright, so now that we've seen this, and the fact that Stone Skin actually brings down the deflect, and also knowing that SK deflects more than he actually takes, I can pretty much deduce that the order of how the game calculates everything is it's gonna multiply all the damage sources together. So because of that multiplication, the more that you stack damage, it becomes increasingly good. So every single stack of more damage that you can do, like having Bulwark and War God, is going to become increasingly good. So the second thing that happens in that calculation is that the recipient of that damage will have everything multiplied together for the damage reduction. So for the damage reduction, it has the opposite effect of the damage output. So this one has diminishing returns every time that you stack defense. So for every defensive talent, it becomes less and less effective. So increasingly bad in a way. Even though it's always good in a way to reduce damage, it has less and less effect. So out of these two, you calculate what the damage output is going to be, and then you have to reduce that by the damage reduction. But it's only after that point that the deflection damage is calculated. So if you did have some damage reduction, then the deflection will be lower. And finally, with other, I'm not sure if it's other heroes in the future are going to be that way, but when you have a limitation to the damage intake, that takes place at the very end of everything. So multiply the damage altogether, then you reduce it for the recipient of that damage, and then you calculate the deflection that's going to happen after the reduction, and finally you limit that number to whatever it's going to be. So if SK is 10 of 10, then he's going to be limiting to 3,000, but potentially deflecting 20,000. So as far as Michael's best talent, that's always the question, right? Isn't it? So both are good, but you do have a choice. Huh? So either you go with Stone Skin and you have less deflection, but you last longer under attack. So for something like Guild Wars, you're gonna last a lot longer. So either that, you can either go with that choice, or you can go with the other choice, which is something like Tenacity. And Tenacity, you will not last as long, even though you might argue that it's the same percentage or maybe a little bit more with Tenacity. But the thing is that every heal after that is going to heal for a fraction of what it was if you had Stone Skin. So you will not last as long. Every single heal that you get during your lifetime of your hero, if you have Stone Skin, all of those are worth way more than the extra HP that you get by having Tenacity. So he would not last as long with Tenacity, but he would fully deflect during that time. So that's your second choice. Or you could always go with no deflection at all and just go with a Revitalize. But for me personally, on the one that will be defensive for me, because I'll have one that is offensive with Revitalize in case I need him to act a little bit like a Pumpkin Duke. I'll have that one, but for the defensive one, I will personally choose to keep the Stone Skin, because when you think about, if you look at my might right now, I'm gonna get more and more attacked, and my Bublo is also really good on healing. So if he's healing a Stone Skin Michael, it will be a lot better than if he was healing a Tenacity Michael. So he'll last a lot longer, he'll be able to spawn much more Archangels until, you know, he dies. And he's going to be able to distract the sniping from my other heroes because of all the Archangels that he's going to be able to spawn. So I hope that all this helps you make your own choice. That's going to be it for this one. So until next time, keep clashing.